This is a 1950s mid-century table. It's made out of pure Nara, I think, is what he told me. And it's really beautiful because I like how it has a side on the inside and then a side on the outside. So these are kind of like all the books back here, are like my journals and just really private type of books that I have here. I have a diary, two diaries, a character building book, a character building journal actually that I got online. And it's by week you have to like achieve gratitude, and then there's time with God, basic needs. I'm not that religious, but I do think it's really good for character building, and I do love to write. So I have three journals back here that are leather bound, and I have they're for my children. So these are journals I keep for my children, and I don't write in them every day, but I do write in them when there is something something significant, I guess, that happens in their lives. So this is something I hope to give to them when they're 18, or as a present one day when they're older. So this is for Aurora. This is for my youngest daughter. And the first entry I know I made for her was on May 26th. And it was the day her first nanny left, and everybody was crying, and it was so sad. And so I write things like that in these journals. And I hope that they can. It's nice to like have something to look back on. I wish I had something like this when I was growing up with my mother, but there's so much history of our lives that gets lost. And I just think that, these are like my private books. And then these are kind of here. I have extra candles, and I have some books that I'm going to get to. So this one here is something that I'll be getting to. And sometimes when people come up here, they like to look at what kind of books I have. Other books I have here are this one. This is Garden Eden, and this is a really interesting book. Every morning, actually, I pull out this book and I pick a page randomly and I read about the botanical flower or botanical plant that's on the page. And it's really interesting because this is actually a collection or a curated book of botanical art, and then they have explanations next to it. And this one right here is of an aloe plant, and it's from 1720 Paris. So it's really interesting. Other than that, I also pull out this book. This is fairly new though, and I just got it. I've been trying to like study more Filipino native trees, native plants, native herbs, and I found this book, and I will pull it. I like to do it as, a random thing. I'll pull it open on a random page and I'll read about the tree. And this one is really interesting. So this is a tree that's also part of the avocado family. That's interesting. I have here a cool little children's book, and it's an artist alphabet, and it's kind of like a botanical and nature focused book on the alphabet. It's so beautiful. My kids like to go through this before bedtime. It's nice. I have lots of books here, guys. This is what I'm currently reading. This is Green Pharmacy. I like to have a lot of books around because you never know what you're in the mood for. So it's really important for me to have I'm a very I guess type of all over the place person with my thoughts and with what I like to learn. And so in the mornings, if I like to, read something a little bit more serious, this is actually for school, I'll pick this up. Or if I want to read something a little bit more light, and this is about love, I actually got this at the Kabbalah Center. So this is a really good book on, how to rethink love, basically. And it's about how to attract good things in your life and how to become a better person. I have something interesting here. I have so much books. I have so many books. So this is really interesting because where I picked up these vintage items, I also picked up this book. And actually, they gave it to me for free. So I was waiting by the counter and I saw that they had this bookshelf of old books. And I was looking at it and I saw on the bind there that it said Hippocrates and Galen. And Hippocrates and Galen are known as the fathers of medicine. Well, actually, in my opinion and in a lot of people's opinion, Hippocrates is actually the father of naturopathic medicine, or if you would say herbal medicine, because he really believed in diet, lifestyle, and he also would prescribe with herbs. So Galen is also another one who actually took Hippocrates' thought and he kind of expounded on that when he was, so I have a bookmark in here, when he was also practicing with his patients. And I saw this on the shelf and I asked them how much. And they went back and forth into the back room and they were asking, how much are these books that we're selling? And eventually, because I'm such a good customer of theirs, I think, they would just let me take it home for free. So I was just like, this book was meant to be mine, because I'm so obsessed with learning more about Greek herbal medicine and the really history of where herbal medicine came from, and that's really Greek. So Western herbalism is what I study, and Greek medicine is really where the beginnings of Western herbal medicine came from. Interesting. Sometimes I'll open this book, but it's a little bit too heavy, so it would really depend if I'm in the mood for something like really heavy. So moving on from the books, I need to have herbs by my bedside because it's part of my health and beauty regime, I guess. So every morning I will take a whip or droplet of B complex. And I do prefer tinctures because they're just easier on the stomach and you don't really have to worry about indigestion or anything like that. I have ashwagandha root. I have a blend of ginseng vitality, and I have stinging nettle. So these are some of the things that I take either right before I go to sleep or right when I wake up. So right when I wake up, I take a B complex and I take either the ashwagandha root or the ginseng. It would just depend on my mood. They basically do the same thing. Ashwagandha root, this is just ashwagandha, but this one actually has ashwagandha, ginseng. It has 3 types of ginseng in it. So it has Siberian, American, and Asian ginseng. And it has maca root. So this is really good for actually libido. So this is something that you could take every morning and every night. And it's good to have by your bedside because it's good for libido, it's good for sleeping, it's good for deep sleep. So if you're someone who doesn't get deep enough sleep, this really will put you into some deep sleep. Even if you don't sleep a full 8 hours a day, you still get really good, well rested with this one. And ashwagandha root kind of does the same thing, but I do have something called endometriosis, and it's an imbalancement of my hormones. And I do try to treat it as naturally as possible. So ashwagandha is really good for helping with, women's imbalances, hormonal imbalances. And with endometriosis, it can be kind of painful. So I like to take ashwagandha root to help if I'm experiencing any pain. Other than that, I have stinging nettle, and stinging nettle is really a nutritive herb. It has lots of minerals and vitamins in it. It's really good for, actually I think it has like 4 or 3 times the amount of vitamin C than an orange. So it has lots of good immune boosting and immune supporting effects on the body. And stinging nettle, we actually have a local version in the Philippines, and it's called alingatong, which is really also really a powerful herb, and you can use the roots of that plant to make a really good tea. So I use stinging nettle, and like right now I can even like just take a drop because you could even see the color of this is like, so with stinging nettle, if you were to boil the leaves and the roots, it would be soup-like in consistency. And it's because there's just so many nutrients in it. And you could see it coming out there. It's not like it's really a kind of a thick consistency. And then what I do is I just take a drop. It's really delicious. This brand is actually Mary Ruth's, and I use them all the time, even for my children. I use them when I travel because tinctures are really my favorite type of way to use herbs medicinally. I do like to use them as teas also, but this is just so handy. You don't need to carry around anything. And I really love this brand. Like this one is basically empty, the ginseng vitality. And Ashwagandha is almost, this is like, I think my third bottle. Oh, and this one's like kind of empty already. B complex, because I do have a slight deficiency in B vitamins. So I want to show you actually my little vintage boxes here, and they're so funny looking, but I actually keep my pills in here. So these are like little vintage porcelain pill boxes, and like in here I can get one of my pills that I need to take in the morning and at night. So in here actually I have magnesium, and that's good for relaxation, for calming, and a lot of people actually suffer from a magnesium deficiency. So it's really good to kind of supplement with magnesium once in a while. And then here is something called Vitex. It is a chaste tree. It's an herb, and I use it for my endometriosis. Like I said, it could be really painful, and with endometriosis, you kind of live with it. So it's really all about management. And one of the things is I like to take either DIM, which is not available right now locally. So I'm taking Vitex from Chase Tree. And this is really good. It's shown to help alleviate pain and to help kind of bring more balance to our hormones, especially if you have something like PCOS or endometriosis. Wow, what else do I have? I have a lot of things over here. It's like every day I come to my bedside table, I like to have a lot of things because I like to discover something new. So I have here something from Skin Soul. This is crystalline. It has CoQ10. CoQ10 is really important for everyone really in general over the age of 30 because it is responsible for our energy and basically our life force. So with CoQ10 around the age 30, when you turn 30, they say that about almost half of your levels of this decrease and in your body, which is kind of responsible for why we feel a little bit more lethargic, we kind of slow down. So I like to take something with CoQ10, but this also has vitamin C, it has grapeseed extract, and it has a kind of a specialized formulation for their brand, their company, and it's for skin, like beauty. And it's made out of tomatoes, which is really interesting. I like that. I take that every day. So other than that, I have this. This is my daughter's hair tie. I have this thing from Turkey because we have a house there. My father is Turkish. And this smells delicious. It's like, I wish you could smell it, but it's like, minty. It probably has something in here that's like really not good for you, but you know, balance. So it has menthol, eucalyptus, and just has amazing things in here that just smell absolutely addictive. And obviously I have a nail file because I own a nail spa and I'm addicted to my nails being just nice and just clean and proper. So I'll clean them off at the end of the night sometimes. This is really good. This is my favorite. So you'll see here I have like 3 bottles here. And these are actually like perfumes. So this one is one of my favorite perfumes, and it has my name embossed on the leather part of the thing, of the cover. And this actually is my favorite. This is my signature. Like, this is what I walk around wearing every day. So I'll put this on before I leave the house or get up off the bed. I sometimes will put perfume on before I shower. It's really weird. But I'm not going to say what exactly the scent is because that's my own personal secret. And then here I have because when I had kids, it was really important for me to have or find natural fragrances because the fragrances, synthetic fragrances, are not good for children. And that's why we create actually natural fragrances at O Holiday, and that are blended by me actually. But this one is really good. This is an all natural fragrance. And this one it says vanilla and bourbon, but it smells like tobacco, which I like because it's not something that you would normally smell on a lady. But I do like that, and it's natural, and it's actually unisex. So my husband has one too that he uses. And then this is by Nuxe. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this is like my favorite brand. I have lots of their products. This is just such a beautiful product. It's an oil for the body and it smells great. It's a multi-purpose dry oil. I put this on like every night, and my husband comes home and he says I smell amazing. Other than that, I have my candles, of course, and I have a space clearing aura cleansing and energy clearing body clearing with crystals, and this is from Soluna. This is local actually, and this was actually given to me by my master. So I have a master feng shui person who comes here, and he gives me these kinds of things to clear my space and my air and the energy. I have a gua sha here. This is really good for massaging and getting the lymphatic going. Sometimes I'll use this on my husband. Like in the morning, he sometimes has a TMJ or this locked jaw, and I will help massage it kind of out. So I'll loosen up the muscles in that area. And for myself, I'll use it to massage out my lymphatic system. And that is because, every day we accumulate toxins in our body. So it's really good. It's a really good thing to do right before you go to sleep and right when you wake up. It also gets your blood stimulating and energy flowing. Here I have a new product we're actually working on for O Holiday, and this is our eye and lip balm, because I love products that are 2-in-1. So this is actually for your lips and for under your eyes. So you could use this right when you wake up, or probably best to use it right before you go to sleep. So you have lots of moisture and you're wrinkle free and you have luscious lips in the morning. And other O Holiday products I have here actually are the Honey Eyes and Honey Lips Night Oils. So these are for night and this is for under the eye. So here we have, this one is for under your eye. And then this one is for your lips. And this is just a nice, I'll put it on my skin since I have lipstick on, but it's a really not, you would expect an oil to be really oily, but this one is not too bad. Like it really sits well on the skin. I'm really proud of these products. So I have them here. I use them occasionally because I'm testing this one before we put it out to market. And I also have this, of course, is our bestseller hormone balancing oil, which is now known as our signature balancing oil. And it's like literally the most amazing oil ever. I'm gonna take off my rings. And sometimes I will just put it on my neck and my chest. And sometimes like your hair, like sometimes your hair needs some love. And just like to inhale it. All right, so that's my bedside table. I have something here that's really cool actually from my friend. And she makes these beautiful local amulets. It's a Filipino like amulet, and it's a beautiful necklace made out of like, I think she said vintage beads and a pearl, some vintage, these are actually vintage little ornaments, and it's called Angkan, and she's on Instagram, and it's a beautiful necklace. I like to keep this bedside because I feel like this has a lot of power to it. When I wear it, I feel, and it has so much energy to it, and she's such a bright, lovely person, and everything that she sells is so beautiful. So I have this with me all the time. If not, I wear it, and I keep it here because some of these jewelry over here is just stuff that I remember to wear right before I leave for the day. I have this 10-year diary that I just started doing like last month, and so it's really cool. Like you get to, so you can start any time of the year, but let me show you. So like for example, on this day, which is June 24th, is that correct? Yeah, June 24th. You write in your entry and you put in the date, so it says 2021, and that's a Thursday, and then you put in your entry, and then you work your way through each day, and then when the new year starts, you go again, and it's there's 10 slots on the page for that day. So there's 5 and 5, 10 for that day. And you can like see where you were like 10 years ago. So sometimes I leave little notes for myself in here. Like, in 10 years, let me know if I achieved this. So I just feel like that's a really funny diary to have. And maybe your kids can keep it one day and read through all the troubles you went through in your life. So this is a little journal that I just recently started for my son, and he is on a meditation journey. He's 6 years old. And so in here, I put his meditation notes, things that work for him and things that don't work for him. And because I'm certified in meditation, I would love to one day, make this available for other children, because my son has, he likes to run around and he cannot focus really well at school, actually. So we're trying to see if meditation would help him in that journey of kind of just learning to sit and relax and be more attentive, but also so he can kind of filter out all of these stimulations that he gets throughout the day. So this is really interesting, and I hope to fill this up and share it with you guys one day. So I think that's it, really.